Humble. Mumble, humble, humble, mumble, 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 humble. Hi, my name is Mats of the electronic music project BMVT. I am a DJ in my mid 30s, and 3 years ago I started to learn an instrument. This video will be part yes, you can, and part here's how you might go along with it. Because what I've made it as a good experience in the last 3 years is yes, you can, and also I learned something about how to do it. Well, everybody knows that it is far easier to learn something new when you're a kid. Your brain's not as rusty, you don't work that much, and you don't think that much. So that is all very helpful when you need to learn a new art. So every top level musician, every classical musician with good education starts as a kid. Yet you can achieve a reasonable level of an art as a grown up as well, and you can also enjoy what you're doing. So that's quite cool. A number you might have read or heard many times is that it takes 10,000 hours to learn an art. Now, 10,000 hours if you have a normal working day, and if you have like maybe 1 hour a day to practice something, that is, which would be a very high number, you would come out with something along 20-25 years to perfect an art. So I am hoping that this number is a bit too high, that you can do it a bit faster. What I'm aiming for is to be on a level that I deem appropriate with my instrument within 10 years. So 3 of those 10 years I have done. Here's the story. 3.5 years ago, I was sitting in a park in the sunshine. I was having a few beers with a few friends, and I said, "All right, I'm DJing. I'm trying to produce music, but somehow I need a deeper understanding of what's going on, and also I wanted to have some craftsmanship of what I'm doing there." So I said, "Okay, I'm going to learn an instrument." I took the decision of the instrument within that instant, and I have gone for the most sexy instrument that you could ever imagine: the accordion. Well, let's say for the sake of this video, it doesn't matter what instrument you're going to learn. As I said, I started 3 years ago. Well, that's just a short piece of a tune I used to play regularly. I'm going throughout the video, I'm going to play a few times. It's not to brag around, but to give you an impression. Okay, after 3 years, if you practice continuously, you can reach that. And if you have talent, and if you have a higher level of concentration than I do, you might even get much further. Well, I have been practicing, if I look back the last 3 years, I've been practicing for 15 to 20 minutes a day on average. There are days where I do an hour, there are days where I do 2 hours, and then there are again 3, 4, 5 days where I don't do nothing. I try to practice every day, but well, as you know, that's the difference when you're a grown-up. You have some things to do besides learning that instrument. I started to look around when I wanted to learn it. There are different ways to do it. You can grab good videos on YouTube if you want to go for guitar, for saxophone, for piano, for everything more common. You will find very good YouTube courses, and then you can always rent an instrument, so you don't need to buy it in the first place. I rented that one also for the first half year, and then I decided, okay, I'm going along with this. What I did is I took on a private teacher, and I'm going there every 2 weeks to have a lesson. So he listens to what I'm learning, he gives me some homeworks, and I'm doing that. And I found this is a very good way to do it, because obviously you're not within a class with guys and girls with different levels, where one is progressing much at a faster pace, and the other one is much slower, and you are somewhere in the mid, and then what you are teach doesn't perfectly match what you are capable of doing. So I really do appreciate that, and I can definitely recommend it. And that's the wrong note? No. It is. So, as a short recap, I would say the thing you need to have the most for learning an instrument is tenacity. You need to stick to it, and you need to do it on a regular basis, and you need to do it nearly every day. You don't need much of money, and you don't need much of talent, but you need to stick to it. Otherwise, you won't learn it. And you need to stick to it through hard times, because when you start doing it, it will sound gross. And the tunes you're playing, they will lack the feeling and the groove, and they just don't sound good. I would even say that after 3 years, much of the stuff I'm playing doesn't sound the way I would love it to sound. Okay, after those 3 tunes now, this is most of the stuff I wanted to say. You can do it, you can enjoy it, but you also need to enjoy it in a certain way when you're not doing it good. Because it can happen that after a year, you have been practicing this one song and you've played it for 500 times, and then just one day it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You always get it wrong. You play it wrong like 20 times in a row, and you need to indulge that level of frustration that you're getting at, and you will get it. On the other hand, there are days that are absolutely wonderful, like when you try something new, or when you start to improvise and play a tune that just flows out of your hand, and it sounds quite all right, and you're like, I've never played that, and what's going on? And that is awfully nice. In the long term, I would say learning this gives me a very deep sense of satisfaction, because it is something that I am working on for years now, and I'm doing this, and it's not like the euphoric state when you do some nice shopping and you buy something and it's there, all right. But if you learn an instrument, then it is more like you learn it step by step, by single step, and in the end, it's like coming home to something. That is absolutely quite nice. When you play it, you're coming home, and you feel it, and then by the time you're going to miss it if you're not play it today. One last hint I might give you. So what I've said is stick to it, and then a good thing I have learned is to get a teacher. You can rent an instrument, and basic punchline was yes, you can do it. Another thing is, if you're a grown up, people are less tolerant when you practice the same 2 bars for half an hour and you just don't get them. And so what is always a good idea is to get an electronic version of your instrument. Oh, this is so heavy. Don't learn the accordion. Well, anyhow, this is a Roland synthesizer. It looks like an accordion. It feels mostly like an accordion, but it doesn't necessarily sound like an accordion. You can make it sound like an accordion, but it's not that absolutely convincing. The incredible advantage of this one is you can play it with headphones. And this means you can play it at night, you can play it when somebody's around in the same room, and you don't annoy him. What I was going to play, I don't know. Since it's Christmas, let's do something. Yeah, there were some mistakes in there. I bet you recognize them. But as I said, I have still 7 years to go. Okay, I hope this was somehow interesting for you, and I hope maybe this encourages you to start learning an instrument. I can just recommend it. As I said, it is frustrating, it is painful, it is sometimes annoying, and it needs a lot of effort to get to it, yet it is incredibly redeeming. All right, if you want to listen to some further amateur accordion tunes or maybe some produced stuff we did, check out our SoundCloud page and see you again for other episodes of this tutorial series, which, by the way, is called Audio Nerd Diary.